Hello, I hope you're having an awesome day. I had a really good day today. I took my dog for a walk, went for a nice long hike. It was a sunny, warm Saturday. The weather's getting warm, so I'm like really excited about that. And I got some really good cold brew. There's like this new coffee place in my town that has the world's best cold brew. So I had that today. I am loving my cold brew. And then I also got my book today and I read in the grass in my yard and the sun was coming down. It was just really relaxing and really nice. So today's build, we have a treehouse build, and oh my goodness, this is probably one of the coolest things I've ever built. I think it's so unique. I wanted to do a treehouse build, but I didn't want to just do a small little treehouse. I wanted to go big or go home. So I literally made a treehouse fortress, and I love it because it's a really cool blend of technology and nature. You'll see there's a house in the tree, but there's also like little light posts everywhere and little technology gadgets, and there's a little control room at the top of the treehouse, and it is like really cool. It's like sci-fi. It's like a whole aesthetic. I don't know. It's its own vibe that I feel like I've seen a lot in like some like sci-fi movies where you have like the environment, but you also have like technology, like advanced technology, like seamlessly blended into it, and I just like the way it looks. It looks really sick at nighttime too. So The Sims announced a new kit expansion pack, and it is called Courtyard Oasis. So it's a Moroccan inspired building kit. So I have wanted to build a Spanish, like a mission or like a one of those like villas or something like that. And I would love to like incorporate like some sort of Moroccan courtyard. So that's coming out on Tuesday, and I am snatching that up on Tuesday, and I'm gonna build a mission or a villa or something like that with a courtyard. And I'm looking forward to that very much so. And also on Tuesday, The Sims is announcing their summer lineup of games. Apparently, they have a lot of really cool new expansion packs coming out. Like I said in my last video, apparently there might be a fairy expansion pack, and if that comes true, I guess we'll be finding out Tuesday. So, or maybe not, maybe it'll come out later, but I'm crossing my fingers. Oh, so looking at the build, so I'm building a dome right here, and it is for plants. It's like a greenhouse, and I kind of got inspiration from Sandy Cheeks' little dome in SpongeBob. So that is what this is right here. I ended up putting glass around it so it looks more like a dome. And it's definitely my favorite feature of the build. I think it came out so cool. It's not something I would ever normally build, so I had a lot of fun making a glass dome, and it's like you don't really know that this kind of stuff is possible till you try it, and it came out pretty cool. Look at that thing. It's pretty. So yeah, the build's coming along. I did a lot of terrain tools, so I wanted to have different levels of height in the build to give it some sort of depth, and that is what I did with the hills. There's lots of staircases, lots of ladders, bridges, stuff like that to make it have a lot of depth. So this building right here is actually not the main treehouse. It is the secondary treehouse. The main treehouse ends up being a little bit to the left over there where that tree is. So I ended up deciding to have a palm tree be the base of this treehouse here, and it was a lot of trouble trying to like get the treehouse to actually work. It was very finicky, and I ended up using like these baseball bats as support beams. Yeah, there's the baseball bat right here, and they were like such a pain in the butt because I ended up like moving them, and like the camera wasn't focusing, and you had to like elevate them at a certain level. It was a lot of trouble, but it ended up being okay in the end. So one of my favorite podcasts is Joe Rogan. I think his podcast is so good. He's also such like an awesome person. Like he's so level-headed. He's a role model. He's just awesome, and I love listening to him talk and like hear his ideas and everything. And he had some guy on who wrote a book called The Comfort Crisis, about how people are just so like comfortable these days. They don't have to go into nature and hunt their food. Like everything's just really easy. And the guy who wrote the book was talking about how if you're in nature more, you're a lot healthier and more, your mental health is better. And I totally believe that. So this is like a perfect build to kind of go along with that theme of like connecting back to nature, remembering your roots, like grounding with the earth or whatever. And something that I thought was so cool was that there's the food pyramid, but there should also be like a nature pyramid that gives you recommendations on how often you should be outside, in what types of environments. Just like, you should have like a fistful of meat, big portion of vegetables. There's recommendations for how much you should be outside and in what types of nature too. So I think he basically explained that there were 3 different levels. So the first one is just being outside 20 minutes at a time, at least 3 times a week. So that's 60 minutes a week of just simply being outside. So you could just step outside and be in your front yard, go for a walk around your neighborhood. That's the first level of recommendation that everyone should do on a weekly basis. And then the next level is going a bit further into nature. So not just stepping outside your door, but maybe going to something like a state park, being deep into nature. I can't remember the actual like time recommendations, but I think this was on like a monthly basis, and I think it was like like 6 hours a month or something like that, where you should go out and be out in the deep nature and like not around any people a couple times a month. So that's actually what I did today. I went to a state park, and I took my dog for a walk. We went like 25 minutes into the pathway, and I didn't really find anything cool. But it was just nice just being outside, breathing in fresh air. Only saw a few people, and it was just really nice. It was warm out, and it felt really good, and I really enjoyed it. So I ended up being outside for a little like hour-long walk with my dog. It was really nice and really fun. And what this guy was saying is that when you're spending more time in nature, your brain is actually functioning on a different level than people who are not regularly in nature, which I thought was, that's very interesting that being in nature can have that much of an effect on you, like a really big positive effect. And he was saying that when you're in nature regularly, your brain is operating on alpha waves instead of beta waves. So if you're just someone who, if you're just working, just you're at home, you're working on your computer, and you're just living your life, like that's fine, but your brain's operating on these beta waves, and not on alpha waves. And he said that people operating on these alpha waves are very similar to those who practice advanced meditation. So, advanced meditators that are really into it and have a really calm peace of mind are like really grounded. Ooh, my screen just freaked out. Are like really grounded. They feel really relaxed. They have very little anxiety, very little depression, and they're just overall they feel really good. So this build is, I built this a while ago before I listened to this podcast, but I've had that feeling of like just wanting to be in nature more and spending less time, on my phone. And at the same time, like I think technology is super cool. Like I think it's, obviously so powerful and transformative, but there needs to be a balance of both. And that's kind of what this build is. It's a treehouse build in nature, but it incorporates modern technology, so that there's like a harmony and a balance. And I think I just love that theme, and that's what this build is. So then that last level on that nature pyramid recommendation thing was being super deep in nature. And I also can't remember the time recommendations on it, but it was something like being extremely secluded in nature by yourself with 0 people, no technology, just complete seclusion. And I think it was maybe on like maybe a couple times a year, maybe like twice or 3 times a year, where you should go in and just really be with nature for like a day or 2 at a time. So that's something that's like maybe a little bit harder to achieve, but it would be really cool to, I think for me personally, I would love to just actually kind of start following that pyramid and and making sure, like, okay, I'm outside 20 minutes for 3 times a week, doing that monthly, like, deeper dive into nature, and then maybe planning some sort of like camping trips or some trips where I can really like be secluded, and maybe like bringing friends too. Like, I wouldn't want to be like completely alone because that'd be a little scary. Like, there's bears and wolves and stuff like that. It'd be like really scary to be alone unless you like brought some sort of like weapon to defend yourself. But yeah, it'd be nice to bring people too. Yeah, that's a little tidbit of information that I found really cool and really applicable to this build. So right now I'm building a secret underground tunnel system for the Treehouse Fortress. It's tucked away in the bushes. Kind of reminds me of like like a fantasy book where there's like a secret world through the bushes that you can find. And here I'm building a waterfall. I have since learned how to build real waterfalls, but this waterfall I got an indoor waterfall and put it like against the hill and covered it with rocks. But I have since learned how to build a real one with fountains that looks a little bit more realistic. I'm excited to, I think I talked about it in the last video, like I want to build a fairy build with that, with a bunch of waterfalls. So this is basically the structure of the build. I'm not going to show the decorating part. I'm just going to dive into a tour where I will show you like the final product with all the decorations and furniture and finishing touches. But oh yeah, here's the waterfall with all those rocks. Very pretty. I think it came out pretty good for my first waterfall attempt. But yeah, this build came out really pretty. I really like it. I'm proud of it. The only thing that I noticed about it is that the build is very square. And, it's very rectangular. There's not a lot of depth and dynamicism, if that's a word, to the actual structures, like walls of the treehouse. I think there's depth and dynamicism to the build as a whole, but this specific structural piece of the treehouse, I want to kind of learn how to, do more curves and make things look more natural. So let's dive into this build as a finished product and let's take a tour. Let's go. Okay, so I'm queuing up my game to show you guys the treehouse build. And what do I see over here? A fairy. Favorited by Maxis, the people that make The Sims. So are they trying to like say something? Are they trying to hint at something? I don't know, but I'm feeling like really good about this like fairy thing. Okay, so here's the fairy. Uses item from these packs. The gallery item doesn't use any specific content. I've never seen that before. That's a little weird. It says no custom content, no CC. Maybe this is like a costume from another pack that I'm not aware of, but I don't know. I don't know how those wings are there. I'm confused. This is interesting. I'm gonna save it to my library. So this is Evergreen Harbor, the world that I built the treehouse in, and I just wanted to point out how out of place it looks. Like just a regular old industrial waterfront town, and there's this huge treehouse fortress. Okay, so here is the build. I have it set at nighttime. I think it looks the prettiest at nighttime. Very decorated. There's lots of lights. There's lots of windmills and solar panels and eco-friendly stuff. And I think it just looks like a really sick treehouse fortress. I would love to live here. I think it's so pretty and wonderful and a perfect blend of technology and nature. So, right over here we've got our entranceway. So you can come in through the gate, and there's a pond in the very beginning with some fountains and a waterfall and lots of lily pads and flowers. You gotta wow the guests right when you walk in. So that's that area. In terms of where you can go through this archway and up these stairs and across the bridge, or you can go down this pathway right here, up this big staircase into the secondary treehouse. So this is the main treehouse here, and this is the secondary treehouse. So this is a Sandy Cheeks greenhouse. You can put all your plants in here, and I think it looks really sick. Like, I just love a good glass dome. It looks really pretty. And I don't know what these things are on the side, but I just like them. I like the pink glow that they give off, so I had to put them there. And over here, you can walk over to the main tree house, and we got a little fire area, another pond, place to sit, a well, just like a cool chill out area underneath the tree house. You come up here. I pictured that this is a zip line. There's actually no zip lines. This is just an enlarged clothing rack, but I picture it as a zip line. So yeah, like a treehouse with zip lines, like I feel like that's just like the ideal situation. So stuck that in there. And this is the secondary treehouse. We have a really cute bathroom on the first floor right here. You come around this corner and there is a bathroom. So it's super tiny and it has everything you need though. It's very nature-y themed. Here's a cute shower, some rugs. I think it's just cute. It's nestled in the corner and I would totally go to the bathroom there. And this level over here is just a ladder with a window. I thought that was a cool feature. It's like a little look inside. And then over here, I imagine would be the kids' room. Imagine growing up, like living in this treehouse. How cool would that be? But yeah, they've got everything they could need: a bed, some toys, their school stuff. They can paint on their balcony. They got a little science table out here, and yeah, that would be so sick to grow up with that. And then this is the control tower. This is a fortress, so you have to be aware of your enemies, and you have to be up to date with intelligence. So this is the fortress room. And we've got our antennas and satellite up there. And then from the secondary treehouse, there is a bar that connects the secondary treehouse to the primary treehouse. So yeah, we've got a little rooftop bar action going on here. Perfect place to have a beer, a fresh, wonderful brewed beer up here with your friends and just chilling out. And I think that would be like a really cool place to sit and have a drink and watch maybe the sunset, So there's that area. And then the bar connects to the primary treehouse, which is right here. So we'll start on the first floor. So on the first floor, you can get up with this ladder right here. And we have a nice outdoor patio, place to sit with your friends. And then this is a really cool room. This is the living room / library. So I imagine you just sit here. You can brew yourself a cup of coffee, sit by the fire. It looks very comfortable. I like the colors in here, the green and yellow. It's very vibrant and inviting. I like these windows too. I use these throughout the build and they're awesome. They're like cool summertime windows that you can actually have them be open. So it's nice to get some fresh air and then warm summer air. And of course some books, because I love a good bookshelf. And then going up, we have the kitchen. I also want to point out this lamp. This is like a really cool lamp. It's from the Star Wars pack, and I think it's really cool. It's like steampunk. It's like, cool technology, and it's fancy. I like it. So here's the kitchen. Got everything you need, some wine. I even built a laundry station here with all your laundry essentials. I think it's super cute. Add some charm to the build. And then you can dry your clothes right here on the clothing line. And then on the top floor is the bedroom. That's where this guy and his wife would sleep. That's their bedroom. I put lots of plants in it to go with the whole nature theme. There wasn't too much space to work with, but I think it came out cool. And then I love that they can just wake up and go to the bar. I think that's kind of funny. Okay, so yeah, that is the main treehouse. And that is actually all of the treehouse. So there it is. I just love it. I could just like stare at it. I think it's just so pretty. I'm so proud of it. Okay, so there's a little bit more to this build. So we've got over here, we have a garden area. So it is ready to have lots of plants, lots of vegetables and fruit and herbs and whatnot to be planted there. And then, like I mentioned in the build, we have a whole underground tunnel system. So over here, like, there's some, like, you know, fun, like, naturey things, like a bee's box and, you know, whatever. Got a cool little pond over here. But through these bushes, we have an underground tunnel system. So this is a, I don't know, it's like a workshop. All different types of tables are here. There's tons of plants. I imagine it's like a place to do some botany, you know, grow some plants, mess around with flowers. Lots of cool stuff happens down here. And of course, what would be a build of mine without a secret bookshelf door? Because I love them. They're so much fun. So if you go through in the bookshelf door, you get to this little foyer with, you know, a statue lady, and you're like, oh, what is this? Marble stairs, wow, fancy. So here we have a whole magical lair. So you can practice your potions deep underground and all your spells right here. And then you come down the hallway and we have a guest room. So if you want to have friends over to your treehouse, you can have them stay in the guest room underground. It's very peaceful, very green and tan and pretty. Peacock sink, very luxurious. You can sleep 4 here. And then down this corridor, we have the study. So you can just sit, you know, read a book, really get into your magical practices. And then we have another bookshelf door, which leads to a spa. This is a place where you can go to meditate, do some yoga, get a massage, take a bath, you know, chill out in the sauna. It's just a very peaceful Zen room that I thought would be really cool to have. So that's that room. So that has been my treehouse build. I hope it maybe inspires you to go out in nature and to connect with nature and get those alpha waves going in your brain. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That would mean a lot. And if you play The Sims, I will put this on the gallery for you to download. You just have to search for my Origin ID, which is in the description below. And I just wanted to give one more look at it at nighttime because I love the lights at night. I think it looks so cool. Oh my gosh, I want to like go and adventure in it. But okay, thank you for watching and see you later. Bye.